What's going on? It's your boy Sermon at Sermon's Domain on Twitter. Welcome to the month of June. We are halfway through 2017 and we've gotten some great releases so far. And the rest of the year is going to give us a lot more. There's still so many names that are on the horizon for the rest of 2017, as well as some surprises that we probably won't know about until later in the year. For May, I decided to take a month off from my most anticipated album series, pretty much because there was nothing that was worth talking about in May. So at the time, there was some good releases in May. Snoop Dogg released an album, MGK, and some others. But when I was going to do the video, I was like, yeah, there's only like two things to talk about. That's not really a video. And the other side of it was I wanted to figure out how to make the series just a little bit better. Before I was kind of like freestyling everything off the top of my head, but now I wanted to go into it with a little bit more notes, a little more preparation. So here we are, most anticipated albums of June 2017. The first album on the list is the debut album from SZA titled Control. This one comes out on June 9th. Recently, she announced a deal with RCA. She's still under TDE, it's RCA/TDE, but I think this deal is going to help her in the long run. She is nothing short of a star. And I don't know if TDE alone can make her a star. You look at Kendrick and Schoolboy Q, they're TDE, yes, but they're also tied to Interscope. So I like that TDE is opening up and doing more partnerships with different labels, and RCA is a good fit for SZA. She A, gets more promotion, and B, she hopefully gets a shot at some radio play. More than likely, I feel like that is going to help her in the long run. Like, she has those sounds that are going to be a hit. She hasn't had it yet. Like, the songs that she's put out yet, they're good, but I don't feel she's had that hit yet. It might come after the album to where the fans are like, yo, this is the one, and it just blows up and gets real popular. I can see that happening. As of this video, the only revealed guest feature is Travis Scott. They have a record called Love Galore. I love the video, I love the song, and I'm looking forward to seeing who else is on this album. I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of guest features, but I feel like you're going to get some other notable names. Control is supposed to show us SZA's evolution. In an interview with Billboard, she talked about how she wanted to create music with more emotion. Like, the conversation was how she was listening back to some of her old music at, I think it was at her boyfriend's dad's house or something of that nature. And she said that she didn't hear that much emotion, and so she wanted to aim to do that on this upcoming album. She also had a chance to sit down with Rick Rubin, who told her that she should be more minimal. She always had this notion that if you add, you add the bells and whistles to a beat, it's going to make it better. But Rick told her to kind of strip away that stuff and let her voice be the biggest thing on the record. And so when that interview came out, probably about January, it had me excited because I was like, we're going to hear some actual growth from SZA on this album. And so that's why I'm looking forward to it, to hear how she's grown as an artist. It's been a while since she put out a project, so it's about that time. And on June 9th, we will get that SZA's debut album, Control. The following week, we are going to be graced with 2 Chainz presence as he drops his latest album, Pretty Girls Like Trap Music. Now, this is rumored to be his last album under Def Jam, and I kind of talked about where he could go. He could stay independent, or he could stay at a major label. I gotta say that I love the title. It might be one of my favorite album titles of 2017 so far. The thing you have to know about 2 Chainz is that he's been on such a strong run since Collie Grove. And you can even make the argument that he's been on a run that existed longer than that. To some people, it might be along the lines of like his run hasn't ended for years, and truthfully it hasn't. He's always put out some good music. He's always managed to come on these guest features and steal the scene. And I feel like this album is going to be another strong showing for him. Depending on who you talk to, 2 Chainz is either underappreciated or appreciated just enough. I feel like he falls under the underappreciated category just because despite what he's done, I don't feel like he's on the level of some of the other artists that get praised as much. And, you know, he's on the same, like, skill level as, say, a Drake or a Future. So there was a slight delay with this album, but 2 Chainz is releasing it at the right time. It's an album that I can see really running the summer of 2017. Besides that, on the track listing, we have Nicki Minaj, we have Sway Lee, we have Pharrell, there's Drake, but it's not a new Drake feature. It's the one from last summer titled Big Amount. And there's more guest features on the album as well. The only thing that I hated about the track listing is that it includes some old songs that I really wasn't feeling. But other than that, I'm very excited for 2 Chainz to release Pretty Girls Like Trap Music on June 16th. The next release is one that I've been waiting for seemingly all year. At the top of 2017, Vince Staples teased his sophomore album, and it felt like it was coming soon, but soon kind of turned into another month and another month. But on June 23rd, we'll finally get his sophomore album titled Big Fish Theory. Vince Staples is hands down one of the most interesting artists right now. I feel like his transition from what he was doing on his early music, you know, the Shine Cold Chain mixtape days, to where he is now, you can see a lot of progress. And with this album, it's going to be like a concept. And I think he's kind of unraveled a little bit of that concept. And we'll talk about that in a moment, but I did have to note that I absolutely do not love the album cover. I hate the album cover. I get that Vince probably wanted to go for something minimal, but it's just a goldfish staring at you. So I don't know. I'm not really feeling it. Maybe if Vince were to provide like an explanation for why he did it, he'd probably convince me that this is like one of the best album covers of the year. But my own personal opinion is I'm not big on the cover. So let's talk about the concept a little bit more. About a week or two ago, I got an email from one of my subscribers. His name is Sauce301. And he had a theory about the album and like the concept based around the Big Fish video that just came out. And a lot of the stuff he was saying were ideas that I was kind of like mulling around and thinking of, but he put it into a lot more perspective, and I just wanted to kind of highlight what he was saying in like a shorter version because the email was pretty long. So he stated that the fish is Vince and that the bull represents Long Beach. And so in the video for Big Fish, we eventually see that the bowl is empty, meaning that Vince is now like out there in the ocean with real threats. He's now the small fish in the big ocean, but he also has the opportunity to grow and to make something of himself versus where you're in this little bowl, which is supposed to be Long Beach, you know, his hometown. Like, you can only grow so much in that small bowl. So the video / song takes on a lot of the bad things that stand in Vince's way that aim to stop him. And so that was the short version, and whether or not that is like accurate remains to be seen, but I feel like judging off of the video and what we know about the album thus far, it can definitely be a plausible theory. So shout out to Sauce301 for, you know, sending me that email and, you know, allowing me to think about it a little bit more. So I am looking forward to Vince Staples' album. I want to see how this concept comes alive and if this is actually the concept, like the theme behind it, if we know it or if he's going to go in a different direction. I'm sure there will be some surprises on the album, but this is one that I'm looking forward to because I think Vince Staples is one of the most interesting rappers in hip-hop today. So that album is coming out on June 23rd, Big Fish Theory. The final release of the month comes right at the end. On June 30th, MC8 returns with Which Way is West. This album is strictly for the old school West Coast heads, the people that were around in the 90s or that appreciate 90s, you know, West Coast rap. This is for you. This is not for the new generation. MC8 made that clear in an interview with Hip Hop DX. DJ Premier is executive producing the album, which means he has a huge say in the album sound and direction. He produced 4 songs on the album. I don't know the other producers that will be on it, but just having Premier on 4 songs is way more than I was expecting. At the same time, though, I kind of do wish that Premier was like exclusively producing this all. Because when I first seen MC8 and DJ Premier, I'm like, oh yeah, they're doing an album together. This is going to be amazing. But he's just executive producing it. The features on the album include Dub C, Lady of Rage, Be Real, Exhibit. So you can see that you're getting, that old school West Coast flavor with all these guest features. I think it's going to be a surprisingly amazing album. I think MC8 doing an album that mirrors what was going on in like the 90s, like that sound, is something that is going to be unique in this generation. And it also builds upon nostalgia. Now, I'm not saying that MC8 is going to gain a whole bunch of fans from this. I think that the people that are interested are going to check it out and tweet about it, and maybe some others will check it out, but I don't think this is going to be an album that goes gold or platinum. But it will satisfy the people that are fans of him and the people that are craving some 90s West Coast type of music. So MC8's Which Way is West comes out on June 30th. So those are the releases that I'm looking forward to in June of 2017. You have SZA dropping Control on June 9th. 2 Chainz Pretty Girls Like Trap Music on June 16th. Vince Staples' Big Fish Theory on June 23rd. And lastly, MC8's Which Way is West on June 30th. So those are the albums that I'm looking forward to. Now I want to hear from you. What albums are you looking forward to? Are you looking forward to the same ones as me? Do you have others that you are keeping tabs on? I know that there's a rumor that 21 Savage is dropping his debut album this month as early as tomorrow, June 2nd. So we'll see if that actually pans out. But talk to me in the comment section below. Let me know what albums and why you're anticipating them. And then like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already, share the video. Follow me on Twitter at Sermons Domain. And as always, thank you for your time. I appreciate you for watching. And until next time, peace.